Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Play action. Now Wentz. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
Throwing on first is Wentz. Looking downfield for Jones. And this is taken in at the 5. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A huge play there for Washington. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. To throw is Wentz. Flushed out right. And it's caught. He can only get a yard after all that. It's 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And Washington takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Jerick McKinnon to take it out of the end zone. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's got his man. That's Josh Gordon. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. Here's 2nd and a yard. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Not the kind of gain that we'll go absolutely crazy for, but it's the kind of gain that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire, with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you when necessary.
Edwards-Helaire, they'll try to run for it. A 1st down and more for Edwards-Helaire. The 30. 10. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. On play action, it's Wentz. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. This defense for the Chiefs, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They fake the give. Now Wentz. Looking deep for Julio. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. Touchdown, Washington. Julio Jones. His 11th touchdown of the year. And Washington has taken the lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Pulls it in at the 13. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. 3-2, their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys so far?
Well, what I've seen is a team that's still figuring out all their pieces because they've got some new faces from a year ago. Add in some new draft picks. Sometimes it takes a month or so before you really start to gel as a team and for those players to figure out their roles. But right now, I see them starting to elevate.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire is a do-it-all back, and he did plenty on that run. And as a rookie, 803 yards rushing for the season, and Kansas City may look to up his workload a little bit in year 2. The last pick of the first round in 2020, he more than justified that selection with his ability to run the football and catch it out of the backfield.
First and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Open out on the left side. This is Cole. And some room to run now. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. It's a big play there for the Chiefs.
So often on these RPOs, we see the ball get from the quarterback to the receiver in what feels like a nanosecond. But on this play, he actually cleared coverage downfield a bit before the ball got to him. The net result, though, a considerable gain.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Here's Edwards-Helaire. Tackle made by Chase Young.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 97 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Mahomes now on first down. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Chase Young, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Throwing now is Mahomes. Eluding the pressure right. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Chase Young, make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Two straight sacks have him backed up now for a 3rd and goal. Now here's Mahomes. Steps away to his... Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Now he dumps this off over the middle, and that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Wentz. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. So, Charles, you look at this offense. What a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 of 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
Again, they'll throw with Wentz. Looking downfield for Jones. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And it's now 21-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Jerick McKinnon now to return. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that
blitz coming, and down he goes. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down of the sack.
Well, that was their third sack of the ball game. Second in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the second spot pretty soon. Throwing on second and long. Mahomes, nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Now on third and forever, he'll look to throw. Got Gordon open, completes it.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on third. Fielded at about the 28. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop, a man down on the return. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.